The Global Internal Audit Common Body of Knowledge is the centerpiece of ongoing research conducted by the IIA Research Foundation. CBOK provides a rich overview of how the profession is being practiced and viewed worldwide. Traditionally, this study has been anchored by a global survey. In all, more than 13,500 internal auditors from 107 countries participated in the 2010 survey, making it the largest survey of internal auditors in the world. Anticipating an even greater response to the Global Practitioner Survey in 2015, CBOK co-chairs Dick Anderson and Jean Coroller returned to explain the major benefits of this study to CAEs, stakeholders, and practitioners around the world.
I'm Dick Anderson. I'm a retired PwC partner. I'm currently on the faculty at DePaul University, and I have the pleasure of working with John on the CBOK 2015. And John, one of the things that comes up right off the bat is, what is CBOK?
Normally, CBOK would stand for a common body of knowledge. But frankly, it's far more than that. CBOK is by far the biggest project across the IIA or the IIA Research Foundation in terms of cost and in terms of number of professionals involved. It's incredible to see the number of passionate people who are helping with that project.
Yeah, when I was working on 2010, I think we had over 13,000 responses to that first survey. And it was a real rich data set, and that's, I think, part of our challenge is stepping that up to the next level. And
remember that in 2015, we will be having two major studies. The first one is the practitioner one, and the second one will be the stakeholder study. In 2010, we just did a pilot in the US for the stakeholder piece. In 2015, we will be taking that to the next global level, and we'll be trying to capture the right ideas behind the minds of the stakeholders. On the one hand, the execs and the CCUs. On the other hand, the board and the audit committee. And remember that 2015 is just tomorrow. It's around the corner. And our intention is to have this practitioner one rolling out in February, March 2015, and the stakeholder piece just after summertime during the fall. Dick, could you maybe tell us, since you are working with me on this project, why is CBOK so important for the profession?
Yeah, that's a question that comes up, and I think sometimes it gets confusing to people, that people think it's just another survey. But when you look at the data set, the global nature of it, it's one of the most important data sets that the IIA as a profession really puts together. And it's really used across the profession. You've got questions on there looking at the standards. It's used by the standards board. It's used really for input, for learning on where issues are. And I think as we've gotten into this whole area of stakeholders that was piloted in 2010, we've got a lot of interest by the advocacy groups about how that data could be useful to them. And I think it's also important that when people think about CBOK and why it's important is it isn't just a data gathering event. It gives us a data set that's going to be used on a going forward basis. You're on the Research Foundation. I used to be on the Board of Trustees, and we look at what comes out of there and start to think about what subsequent research could we use that data for to drill down. So it becomes a lot more of a strategic issue than just a particular survey. And I think one of the things that you and I have talked about for 2015 is even how we have changed the title, and we're now talking about the Global Internal Audit Study to try to communicate how broad and how important it is rather than just calling it, again, a survey.
To learn more about the Global Internal Audit Common Body of Knowledge, visit the CBOK Resource Center.